highlighted the challenges of reckless driving, illegal parking, and general non-compliance with traffic rules. He said the new fleets will play a vital role in enforcing road safety and discipline. The Minister of Internal Affairs, retired AIG Morilengo, underscored the government's continued efforts to regulating commercial motorbikes operations, often the source of road safety concerns. He pointed out the recent restrictions and non-go zone for riders in central Freetown as measures to curb accidents and safeguard pedestrians.
Now we transforming into a service. It means we have to be responsive to the needs of our people. And some of the needs of our people today is to address lawlessness and indiscipline, and also to address the needless injuries and deaths occurring on our roads.
The Director of Traffic Management and Road Safety, Commissioner of Police, Abdul Mojoy, assured the public that officers will undergo specialized training to use the motorbikes responsibly and professionally during enforcement operations. SLBC News, Mohamed Lamentu reporting.
The Food Systems Resilience Program in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, together with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, has sensitized cross-border stakeholders in trade and agriculture sectors on harmonizing sanitary and phytosanitary standards. It was designed to facilitate the free movement of agricultural products. Our reporter Christina Kamara has more.
The event, which took place at the Atlantic Hotel Conference Hall, Aberdeen in Freetown, brought together cross-border stakeholders in trade, agriculture and health sectors to raise awareness and adoption of the ECOWAS Harmonized Phytosanitary Certificate and related agri-food trade protocols. According to the Sanitary and Phytosanitary Consultant, ECOWAS, Dr. Sheikh Fall, the initiative was designed to eradicate trade barriers and enhances access to national and regional markets by ensuring compliance with standardized regulations. He said the harmonized phytosanitary certificate, which is now digitalized and recognized across ECOWAS member states, is valid for 1 year and is essential for the safe movement of agricultural goods.
This is first activity today, but in the coming 3 days, we have, so ECOWAS has developed another new guide for sanitary inspection. It's related to food safety, and we start now the process of training of inspectors at the borders and also in to familiarize them with the provision of this new sanitary inspection and decision-making guide.
Head of Crop Protection, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Ali Mansaye, said the workshop was part of the broader strategy of the Feed Salon program, noting they are taking significant steps toward eliminating traffic and non-traffic barriers that have long affected regional agri-food trade. He said the ministry is committed to disseminating those protocols, working closely with the Ministry of Trade and Industry to ensure producers and traders comply with safe trade requirements under ECOWAS frameworks.
It's a welcoming idea because going forward with this introduction of harmonized certificates is going to help much our exporters in country to be able to move their products within the ECOWAS region and the EU markets, America and the like.
Participants lauded Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security's leadership and ECOWAS in helping them to understand the guidelines of the harmonized phytosanitary certificate, adding that prior to the training, many lack the awareness of cross-border trade guidelines.
We learn from it, and some of us as leaders who are with hundreds of people, we keep teaching them, we keep training them that this is your line of limit, this is what you should do. This is, I think, especially for the grassroots, it's difficult because for you to go to that level of moving to another country, you first of all have to be legally registered here as a trader. But if you check, most of them are just buying and selling, crossing down the border. You ask them to pay how many francs, they will just pay.
Participants also provided key recommendations to both ECOWAS and the government to ensure successful implementation of the initiative, which includes strengthening awareness campaigns, improving interagency coordination, and deployment of digital tools at border posts. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christian Akama reporting.
The recent rainfall in Freetown has severely disturbed the free-flowing movement of vehicles, motorbikes, and other means of transportation at the Bomber dump site area in the east end of Freetown. The potholes hidden beneath the standing water have increased the chances of accidents, frustrating residents and road users. Joyan Dumbia reports.
This area filled with water is not a river, but a key access route connecting residents in the east end of the city to Greater Freetown. The state of the Bomedom site area has posed serious threats for vehicles and road users due to the magnitude of the damage, which they say has been deteriorating for a long time. Although the local council recently attempted some repairs, the work was incomplete and insufficient. Isa Conte, a resident of the area, shared his frustrations, noting that sometimes the community boys mobilized themselves to fix the road in a bid to prevent their homes from flooding.
SLRA should tar the streets to prevent further damage. The Bomedom site floods every time it rains, despite attempts to repair it. We want them to tar the streets so that we will know if really it is the devil that is responsible for the damaged road.
Meanwhile, Alusain Kamara stressed on the need for the roads authority to embark on daily maintenance of the drainage to curtail the never-ending problems they are in.
Despite efforts to fix the Bomedom site road, it constantly floods during rainfall. This attributes to the Sierra Leone Roads Authority's failure to construct proper drainages.
Residents, stakeholders, and road users are now calling on the government, particularly the Sierra Leone Roads Authority (SLRA), to construct proper gutters along Bomedom site road, as that will allow water to flow freely and reduce flooding, improving safety and accessibility for the community. For SLBC, Joyan Dumbuya.
The shortage of specialized mental health services and the vital role families play in the lives of young people were key among discussions held during a town hall meeting organized by the ECOWAS Parliamentary Mission to Sierra Leone. The rise in the use of harmful substances, particularly the kush drug, among youths and its effects on their health and mental well-being prompted the regional bloc legislators to take a proactive step. Dennis Fraser reports.
The town hall meeting on psychoactive substances and mental health, organized by ECOWAS Parliamentary Mission to Sierra Leone, was part of its response and ongoing sensitization to curb substance abuse and mental health conditions prevalent in many West African nations, especially in Sierra Leone.
We commend the ECOWAS Parliament for convening this town hall meeting. It presents a vital platform for dialogue, information sharing, and coordinated action. This is particularly important as we confront new and emerging substances such as kush.
The gathering, aimed at reducing the use of harmful substances, brought together government officials, civil society organizations, youth representatives, and those affected by the kush menace. The roundtable discussion was to develop strategies to combat the pressing issue.
The data for 2024, that is from January to December 2024, it shows that there is still a rise in kush, even though we are making efforts to tackle the crisis.
Young people that we consider as key parts of the country that should take over. Sadly, they are victims of substance use. So we are now targeting the younger ones, the school children from age 10 to 2024 within primary schools and junior secondary schools and SSS to raise their awareness about the dangers of these substances.
Presenting a summarized version of key recommendations from the fruitful deliberations and ECOWAS's commitment to effectively address the issue, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, a member of the ECOWAS Parliament, stressed willingness by both the ECOWAS and Sierra Leone Parliament to stop the kush drug by legislations.
Support the establishment of integrated reception and rehabilitation center with qualified staff and non-stigmatizing approaches, promoting the development of harmonized national legislation in line with ECOWAS regional commitments.
The town hall meeting concluded with the demonstration of a vivid picture of the dire situation and the effects of drug abuse on young people. They emphasized on the importance of fostering a healthier population and promoting sustainable development through interventions like what ECOWAS Parliament has done. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
A team from ECOWAS Parliament has joined forces with their colleague lawmakers in the Sierra Leone Parliament on a fact-finding mission to various ministries, departments and agencies to get first-hand information on drug use obsession and on the government's efforts to curb drug abuse and other substances. Our parliamentary correspondent Dennis Fraser was with the team.
The visit was intended to provide technical information as to how ECOWAS Parliament could provide support to Sierra Leone through legislative framework in the fight against drug and substance abuse prevalent among young people across the country.
It's not only the health sector. We have other sectors can help us. We need to fight poverty. If you don't fight poverty, the young people can use drug. We need fight unemployment. If you have no job, you don't work, you can use drug.
The outreach, fact-finding and sensitization mission on psychoactive drugs and substances consisting the chairman of the Health Committee, ECOWAS Parliament, and a team of medical experts started at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where they were received by the Director General Alan Logan, who provided a brief update on the government's response to curbing the abuse of drugs and substance abuse among young people. The team was also presented with the strategic plan employed by the government in responding to drugs and substance abuse at the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, which is responsible for cutting down the supply chain of illicit drugs, the Ministry of Social Welfare in charge of providing rehabilitation and psychosocial support to affected persons, Ministry of Health in charge of providing medical treatment to affected persons, and the Ministry of Youth Affairs in charge of skills development for affected persons. Receiving the team by the Speaker of Sierra Leone Parliament, Honorable Sengepo Solomon Thomas, the head of Sierra Leone's delegation to ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Veronica Kadisise, said that the visit was part of the 2025 work plan of ECOWAS Parliament. She said it was in line with ECOWAS vision.
We acknowledge the efforts of the government of Sierra Leone in tackling these pressing issues and believe that your insights and leadership will be invaluable to our collective regional response.
The team will gather its findings and present the first-hand information to plenary to support future policy engagement to public health and youth social stability and mental health conditions. Speaker Thomas promised Parliament and government's full commitment to ensure the delegation succeed in its mission.
As leaders of West Africa, we are concerned about what is happening, because if we continue in this kind of trajectory, it will be difficult to see serious youth in the not distant future.
The visit will be followed by a town hall meeting with all sector players in order to inform public policies with a human-centered action approach. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
watching News Hour, coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation on Channel 31. We continue with more stories. In a bid to promote urban development in Sierra Leone, the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, with support from the African Development Bank, convened a high-level workshop to validate the core proposals of the Lunge Spatial Development Framework. The framework seen as a key to unlocking inclusive growth, environmental protection, and regional transformation has now drawn attention to land vulnerability and sustainable urban expansion, as Kenema reports.
The validation workshop, supported by the African Development Bank and organized by the Sierra Leone Urban Research Center in collaboration with consultant ARS Progreti and the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, brought together stakeholders to finalize the core proposals of the Lunge Spatial Development Framework, SDF. The objectives of the workshop were to validate the SDF's key recommendations for converting Lunge into a viable city. Key findings revealed that much of Lunge's landscape comprises wetlands, making the area highly vulnerable to flooding. These geographical and topographical assessments have major implications for infrastructure planning, environmental conservation, and settlement expansion. The framework also proposes the integration of 3 chiefdoms into the new city formation due to the limited size of Lunge town itself. This integration is viewed as necessary to accommodate future urban development while ensuring regional equity and resource sharing.
Also a lot of innovative interventions that will need to be pursued, and these come across in terms of some of the good examples that other countries have really pursued, especially in terms of making the wetlands become touristic but also very attractive spots. So there are a lot of things that we are thinking about. For the land that is suitable for development, we are also proposing a variety of uses.
Participants at the workshop stressed on the importance of a proper transportation system and environmentally responsible planning for flood mitigation infrastructure to safeguard residents and attract sustainable development.
You have laid out the vision, the goals, etc. for the Lunge city. But I think a key component of that has to be the link between Freetown and Lunge, which is the bridge, right? I don't think you can downplay this. I mean, I think you have an opportunity here with this study to lay a great emphasis on this bridge.
As the spatial plan moves towards finalization, participants agreed that a successful Lunge transformation depends on a collaborative governance, data-driven planning, and prioritizing the voices of local communities in shaping the urban future of this strategic peninsula. For Slbc News, Kenema reporting.
In an effort to tackle the growing sanitation crisis in Freetown, the Freetown City Council has officially launched the Dirty Must Go campaign at Old Road, Calabar Town, Mayankine Market. The campaign, which brings together local leaders, stakeholders, youths, market women, and community members, is aimed at promoting responsible waste management and enforcing sanitation bylaws to build a cleaner, healthier city. Aminata Bangura has more.
The event featured a symbolic start to clean up efforts, with a caterpillar clearing heaps of dirt from the market area and a public address vehicle moving around to sensitize traders and community members on the importance of proper waste management. The campaign brought together local authorities, stakeholders, youth leaders, market women, and residents who pledged their full commitment in a united call for a cleaner and healthier Freetown. Mayor Yvonne Akisoya stated that the purpose of the gathering was to launch the new sanitation bylaws. She explained that the bylaws aim to eliminate illegal waste disposal and shift focus from simply catching people dumping waste illegally to holding them accountable for not registering for proper waste collection services.
Having passed the bylaw, we then had to ensure that we had waste collectors approved by council to service whole communities. So we've got Freetown with 48 wards, and we've grouped the wards in groups of 6. So every 6 groups is a block. So today we're standing in block 1. This is block 1. And the service provider is a company called EcoSpring. But right across the city, we have other waste providers.
Marian Tucker, the head of waste management at the Freetown City Council, stated that they observed many people have deviated from the original sanitation bylaws introduced in 2010. She explained that at the time, there were areas FCC could not cover. The 2010 bylaws focused mainly on warning people against dumping waste on the streets, but there were no provisions for actual waste collection. However, she added that the bylaws have not been reviewed and the council has introduced waste service collectors who are now responsible for collecting waste across the city.
Reviewing bylaw, when sanitation bylaw 2024,
under the new 2024 bylaws, the city has been divided into 8 blocks, with each block containing 6 wards. We have decided to hire individuals who will visit households and register residents to ensure that waste is properly collected.
So don't come from Freetown City Council, take measures. We don't hire service providers there. This particular block gets a service provider.
Honorable Rugiatu Rosie Kanu stated that everyone is aware of the damage caused by improper waste disposal. She explained that when people throw away waste during the rains, it blocks the drainage systems and leads to flooding. She advised community members to be watchful, noting that many people dispose of their waste at night when they believe no one is watching. The campaign is an important part of the city's bigger plan called Transform Freetown, which focused on improving public health, protecting the environment, and making the city grow in a clean and sustainable way. SLBC, Aminata Bangua reporting.
Well, it's now time for a segment, beginning with the international news.
Welcome to the international news. I am Aminata Fofana. NATO leaders meeting in The Hague have agreed to ramp up defense spending to 5% of their country's economic output by 2025, following months of pressure from US President Donald Trump. In a statement, they said they were united against profound security threats and challenges, in particular the long-term threats posed by Russia to Euro-Atlantic security and the persistent threats to terrorism. The Hague summit has been described as several leaders as historic, and Secretary General Mark Rutte said decisions made would include continued support for Ukraine while pushing for peace. The Hague summit, which began with a dinner on Tuesday night, hosted by King William Alexander and Queen Maxima, has been scaled back to Wednesday's set peace gathering of leaders was due to last only 2.5 hours, with a short communique agreed at the end. The United Nations has renewed calls for coordinated international efforts to support Libya's political transition and address mounting humanitarian and climate-related challenges. Speaking at a high-level meeting on Libya, the UN Secretary General's Special Representative and head of the UN Support Mission in Libya, UNIMSIL, Anna Sewa Tete, hailed the recent revival of the Berlin Process International Follow-up Committee. Meanwhile, UN officials voiced concern over worsening humanitarian conditions in Libya. Tete raised alarms about the discovery of mass graves in Tripoli's Abu Slim area, citing emerging evidence of grave human rights violations. She added that ongoing conflict continues to hinder development and humanitarian operations in the capital. A heavy police presence in the Kenyan capital Nairobi on Wednesday ahead of protests planned to mark the anniversary of last year's anti-tax demonstrations that left 60 people dead and 20 still missing. Police in riots gear barricaded Parliament and the Prime Minister's office and deployed what appeared to be tear gas. Young Kenyans have used social media to plan Wednesday's protest in remembrance of those who died last year. Businesses in the capital remained closed despite a government spokesman saying it would be a normal working day. But businesses in Nairobi on Wednesday remained closed and police limited the movement of vehicles into the central business districts. Hundreds of Kenyans were on the streets early in the morning chanting anti-government slogans as police hurled tear gas canisters at some of the crowds. And a South African court has altered plans to bury former Zambian President Edgar Lungu at a private ceremony in South Africa just as the ceremony was due to start. The Zambian government had filed an urgent case in the Pretoria High Court seeking to stop the burial planned by his family. The court said that the funeral would not go ahead following an agreement between the parties. However, it appears that funeral won't happen until August at the earliest. The dispute follows a long-standing feud between Lungu and his successor, President Hakainde Hichilema, with Lungu's family saying he had indicated that Hichilema should not attend his funeral. Following Lungu's death in South Africa, aged 68, the family wanted to be in charge of the funeral arrangements, including the repatriation of his body, but the Zambian authorities sought to take control. The government and his family later agreed he would have a state funeral before relations broke down over the precise arrangements, prompting the family to opt for a burial in South Africa. That's the international news. Thanks for watching.
Well, away from there, let's join our entertainment desk for something exciting.
Hello and welcome to another exciting entertainment news with me, Abdul Mansari. In this edition of entertainment news, Akman sets to release new song titled My Baby. Issue Boy featuring Crack Twist sets to drop video of new song titled Rari. And of course, Drizzle drops freestyle rap on upcoming show in the USA. And now Akman, one of Sierra Leone's most talented artists, known for dropping hit songs back to back, has set to drop another classic song titled My Baby. The star took it on his Facebook page and informed everyone to stay alert for the release of the song on the 30th June 2025. Akman, who is notable for his creative styles and slogans in music, has left fans on their toes on the new release.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my baby, my baby, my baby.
Wow, great one, Akman. Keep it up. And again, to music, one of Sierra Leone's fastest rising stars, Issue Boy, recently featured Crack Twist on his new song titled Rari. The song has been making waves on the internet, causing creative people to jump into the challenge by dancing. The official video will soon be out in no time from now.
Yeah, I wanna get your Ferrari. She dey give me all the love I need. That's why my house put you fresh and I know they see the thing I see. That's why we can go. That's why. Yeah, let's show what the girl them do you. Yeah, but I'ma get your Ferrari. They give me up to love. I'ma get your Ferrari. They give me up to love I need. That's why my house put you fresh and I know they see the thing I see. Yeah, I'ma get your Ferrari. They give me up to love I need. That's why my house put you fresh and I know they see the thing I see. That's why we can go.
Quite a beautiful melody and lyrics, Issue Boy. We can't wait to watch the video. And finally, Drizzle one of Sierra Leone's most favorite and loving artists, has dropped a new freestyle rap on the internet to whet his fans' appetite and to inform everyone about his unique upcoming show in Washington, D.C., United States of America. He called for Sierra Leonean support to grace his occasion in the States. Wow, the rap is awesome. Sierra Leoneans, let's support our own by buying his ticket on his website. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Entertainment News, and I've been your presenter, Abdul Mansari. Bye-bye.
Well, many thanks to our entertainment desk for that exciting report. Well, from there, let's join our business desk.
Hello and welcome to Business Update, the segment that brings you insights in business and its contributions towards positively impacting the economy. I'm Dennis Fraser. Today we shall look at the current electricity challenge in the capital Freetown and its effect on traders of perishable goods and other beverages across the city. Across Freetown, citizens are grappling with the harsh realities of unrealistic power, a challenge that it's particularly hard for vendors dealing in perishable foods. Frozen food businesses at PZ, central part of Freetown, has become a crucial source of income for many families, thereby facing significant losses due to the erratic electricity supply currently in the capital Freetown. Well, let's join Esther Susanette Basi for that report.
It is no secret that the current business environment is somewhat not favorable for traders due to several challenges. In recent time, electricity challenge has increased the suffering of traders whose businesses largely depend on electricity. Earlier this month, ETSA's press statement indicated a rationing power supply system for Freetown due to limited power produced for the city. This rationing system has directly contributed to the inconsistency reported by local businesses, and several business people paint a grim picture of their daily struggles. Abubakar Sise, who specializes in gizzard, chicken, sausage among others, highlighted the substantial financial setbacks.
We usually face a lot of loss with regards to the inconsistency of lights. Currently, business is slow, and now lights, which is our vital means and source of help, has become a challenge.
Marie Cole, who sells shrimps, expressed deep dissatisfaction, noting that while electricity was not a concern before, it has now become a major obstacle. She elaborated on the desperate measures they often resolved.
This it tend away light be the not be they get too much problem because the cold we get and so.
Until now, light was not a problem, but lately it is really challenging unless we buy ice cubes, which sometimes is not enough.
Now when we get and so we strain because the lights on and off, we know they get before.
Similarly, a veteran butcher, John, who has been in the business for over 30 years, echoed these concerns, emphasizing the widespread nature of the issue.
Even though it's on and off, I appeal to authorities concerned for improvements and consistency.
Moving from frozen foodstuffs, Maria Tusise, who also sells cold drinks, finds her business severely hampered. Customers expect chilled beverages, and without consistent power to keep her refrigerators running, her daily earnings have dwindled.
I cannot do my business without electricity because people want ice drinks. As a result of that, I hardly earn enough daily. I appeal to the government for better light facilities in order for me to survive and take care of my family.
Let them give me light. Let we able to survive with my family.
However, for Abdul Salam Sise, their main concern is the frequent power interruptions caused by ETSA, particularly the sudden switching on and off of the lights. This sometimes poses fire hazard and puts our refrigerators at risk. The cause of appeals from these hardworking individuals underscores the urgent need for a stable and consistent electricity supply in Freetown. For these small businesses, reliable power isn't just a convenience. It is the very lifeline connecting them to their survival and the well-being of their families. Until this issue is addressed, many fear that their entrepreneurial spirit and economic stability will continue to melt away with each power outage. For SLBC Business News, Esther Suzanette Bassi reporting.
Many thanks indeed to Esther Suzanette Bassi for that report, and that's all in today's edition of Business Update. Many thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Well, many thanks to our business desk for that latest updates. And now for our final segment, let's join sports.
Hello there, it's your sporting updates that keeps you in the know, and thank you so very much for your time. My name is Abdul Kabir. Now, the Sierra Leone Football Association has completed a successful FIFA Member Association refereeing course for elite Sierra Leonean referees, and the FIFA instructor gave a satisfactory remarks after the completion of the training. Here is the update. A new wave of excitement is sweeping through Sierra Leone's footballing community following the successful conclusion of a recent FIFA Member Association course for referees and instructors. Algerian FIFA fitness instructor Sherifi lauded the participants for their exceptional dedication, preparation and professionalism, marking a significant milestone in the nation's referee development. The intensive training program, which ran from June 16th to 25th in Bo City, aimed to elevate the capacity, technical skills, and physical performance of Sierra Leonean football officials. A truly historic moment was achieved as all participant referees successfully passed the mandatory FIFA fitness test, a groundbreaking 100% success rate, an unprecedented accomplishment for the country. This is a proud moment not only for the participants, but for the entire nation. It shows how far referee development has come in Sierra Leone. Congratulations to everyone. Express a clear, delightful moment for the country's refereeing community. The Sierra Leone Football Association and its referees department have been instrumental in this success, with Sherifi extending a big thank to them and all those working tirelessly behind the scenes. This development underscores the SLFA's unwavering commitment to enhancing officiating standards through continuous professional development and strategic international partnership. This landmark event, featuring international facilitators and also aimed at developing Sierra Leonean referees, is set to advance Sierra Leonean referees onto an international stage. The impeccable performance in the fitness test well covered for the future of football officiating in the nation, promising a new wave of highly capable and professional referees on the pitch. In the international scene, Leon Stars skipper Mustafa Bundo has joined Hannover 96 in Germany after a successful spell with Argyle in England. Well, the Leon Stars skipper is super certain that this particular opportunity will give him the latitude to operate as a player and equally to earn more developmental growth in terms of expanding his reach in the game. Mustafa Bundo has been a successful Sierra Leonean footballer. The former Craig Bellamy Foundation graduate is a star to reckon with due to his wonderful skills, dribbling ability, and of course the Leon Stars are hoping that he will help them in the remaining of the World Cup qualifying matches. In another transfer news as well, Sierra Leonean Giants defender Abdoulaye Jumaba has joined OGC Nice in France after a successful spell with Racing Lens Club in France as well. While for Abdoulaye Jumaba, this is a development that is truly remarkable for him, and he hopes to deliver in terms of that defensive role. He has got that ability and he is a star to reckon with. Abdoulaye Jumaba and Mustafa Bundu, congratulations guys. Sierra Leone is hugely proud of you guys. And that ends your updates. Thank you so much for watching.
Many thanks to our sport desk for that update. Now to end the news, the main points again. The European Union Special Representative of Sahel, Joao Campino, has paid a courtesy visit to President Julius Maada Bio, who also chairs the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, in partnership with government of Sierra Leone, has handed over the rehabilitated intensive care unit at Connaught Hospital. And the main opposition, All People's Congress, has renewed its call for the government to abandon the proportional representation electoral system. Well, that's how we wrap up this morning edition of News Hour from the SLBC. I am Esther Susanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance. Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever. Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here, we've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place. All of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
We are Freetown!
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are Freetown.
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 Yeah.
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fisherman,
the taxi driver,
the barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
All of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours.
The future is ours. It's our time again.
And this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright,
the greengrocer,
the teacher,
the dog.
This space is ours.
This light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
The rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river.
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown. Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too.
We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all dey pass like stranger dem, but we all don't dare from them.
People with
from a New England Village studio broadcasting this is how we welcome you to our breakfast program Good Morning Sierra Leone, reaching live on television on channel 31. Today happens to be Thursday 26th day in the month of June 2025. As always, this program started with analysis and divergent views on news and current affairs happenings in the country, and of course we share your thoughts and suggestions as you send them in the program. We are your presenters. I'm Dennis Reed and I'm teaming up with...
And Francis Barnard is my name. A pleasant morning and welcome to the program. Our quote of the day comes from James Bell and it says, "Let's put hands together to save our borders, to restore peace."
Certainly, and especially in a crucial time as we are in currently, as a nation, I think we need to put really hands together to so that we can sanitize our border situations, and of course do that in the most civil and tranquil way, without any cause for rancor or bloodshed or whatnot, God forbid, all abuse. Yes.
In the program this morning, Mano River Union countries conclude border and maritime cooperation in Monrovia, Liberia.
The main opposition, All People's Congress Party, calls for first past the post model in the electoral system.
And UNICEF joins the fight against Mpox outbreak in Sierra Leone. The stories, including your messages and comments, which you can send to the number on your screen, or you find us on our Facebook page, Slbc TV Live. This is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and we are broadcasting live from Broadcasting House near Englandville in Freetown. It's Good Morning Sierra Leone live on TV. Join us and stay with us for the next 1 hour if you can. Now we start the conversation on border security management in an effort aimed to resolving border conflict and strengthening security across the Mano River Basin. A 4-day border and maritime cooperation engagement has concluded in Monrovia, Liberia, bringing together key stakeholders from the region. The forum provided a platform for open and frank discussions, including those concerning the ongoing Yenga land issues between Sierra Leone and Kenema. Sierra Leone was represented by several institutions, notably the Office of National Security, ONS, to help better understand the cooperation and what it means for Mano River Union countries. We have been joined in the studios by Abdul Karim Will, Director of Strategic Communications, ONS. Good morning, Mr. Will, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Slbc. Thank you for having me.
So, what do the people of Sierra Leone, what do they need to know about what happened in this meeting?
So, between the 15th to the 20th of June this month, this year, the National Security Coordinator, in collaboration with members of the Joint Technical Commission for the Affirmation of the Borders between Sierra Leone and Guinea, dispatched a delegation to the Republic of Nigeria for a 4-day conference that was held at the Ellen Johnson Salif Memorial and Ministerial Building in Monrovia. A team of delegates consisting members drawn from relevant institutions such as the Office of National Security, the Sierra Leone Police, the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, the Ministry of Justice, the University of Sierra Leone, Ministry of Lands, Immigration, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs went to Monrovia, Liberia to attend this conference. It was organized by the African Union Border Program, supported by GIZ. The theme of the engagement itself was borders should serve as a bridges and not barriers. That's upon the realization that the current borders that we have are creations of our colonial legacy, colonial tradition. But because of the want for resources, there has been over the period some rancor around border ownership, including the younger situation you mentioned. So the African Union Border Program has a vision to ensure that border issues are resolved before or within now to 2030. And so we met in Monrovia to achieve three key things. One is to establish joint technical commission among members of the 4 Mano River countries, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire. Secondly, to organize capacity building for members of the committees. And lastly, to develop roadmaps as to what to do in order to strengthen our cross-border cooperation.
So Mr. Will, was the delegation from Guinea present during this meeting?
All of the delegations, four countries from the Mano River countries.
I'm specifically focusing on Guinea because of the issue we have at hand. And you and I know this is not new, and it's one of the issues discussed during this meeting. What did the authorities, I mean Sierra Leone and Guinea, what were they saying about this issue of Yenga?
So it's important also to note that the meeting was not specifically held to discuss Yenga. It was held to discuss.
But it was a platform where you have other members in the region present to discuss this.
I understand. So it was a platform meant to discuss cross-border cooperation among members of the 4 Mano River countries. So we used that opportunity. The delegation itself was headed by the Chief of Staff and the head of the Technical Committee for the Joint Border Reaffirmation, Mr. Langobakle, in the Office of National Security. When he was presenting Sierra Leone's position paper, he outlined a compendium of activities that have been taken to ensure that we resolve our common problems between us and Guinea. He also noted, disappointingly, that we continue to have issues with the Yenga situation, especially with Liberia. Guinea's continued occupation of the village of Yenga. So even though that was not the main theme of the discussion, we made Yenga a sticking point to the extent that it drew the attention, it captured the attention of all of the relevant stakeholders, the German sponsors, particularly the ambassador, the president of Liberia, and all other stakeholders in the room, much to the extent that the president of Liberia has committed himself to ensure that he works with his counterpart, President Ouattara of Ivory Coast, to help Sierra Leone and Guinea to resolve this seemingly intractable younger border situation, because the things that bind us as two countries are far more important than any consideration of border ownership. I mean, there is cross-cultural trade, intermarriages have taken place. We exchange a lot of cultural affinities. In fact, for those people that are living within that conclave, on Sierra Leonean side, Liberian side, and Guinean side, they speak almost the same language. They are easy speaking people, and so that is a consideration. But then we made Yenga a sticking point, and it became very much topical in the entire discourse itself. But I would say that it was a fruitful engagement, because at the end of the day, we were able to achieve these three key objectives, and we signed up to a joint communique that binds all of us, all four countries, in our objective to strengthen our cross-border cooperation between us and Liberia, between us and Guinea, Liberia and Ivory Coast, Liberia and Guinea. That's the best way.
Alright, and Mr. Will, you agree with me that this is not the first time we are having meetings of such a nature. I mean, of course, this all important AU cross-border cooperation by man-over union countries, I mean, it could not have come at a better time than now, when we really have this issue of Yenga, I mean, becoming a thorn in our flesh. But again, in as much as you made a case for Sierra Leone, like you said, in the person of the chief of staff made a case for Sierra Leone, what was like the response? What was the body language by our counterparts, the Guineans? Because there have been numerous calls by citizens, for Sierra to put in more diplomatic efforts to really curtail this, and the government had promised that it will use diplomatic means to settle this border issue.
So diplomacy is one that is sometimes slow, sometimes painful, but it's the best way to go. For the body language, the point has to be noted that Guinea is also contending at the own Yenga. It is not that they agree that Yenga is a Sierra Leone territory.
But it has been proven, it has been established that Yenga belongs to Sierra Leone. What else do they need to see the reality?
So if you go now to Yenga, the Bakings that are erected there, they have written since 1885. But prior to 1885, or after 1885, our colonial masters did sign up to treaties, and these treaties are legal documents. One of those treaties is the 1895 treaty, which speaks around the ownership of the border, the areas along the borderline. And in 1912 specifically, there was a communique signed, a treaty signed between Guinea specifically and Sierra Leone, the two colonial powers. And that treaty speaks around the ownership of the Makona River, including the town of Yenga and all of those other areas. So it is a contention between the two countries. But over time, there have been engagements in relation to the ownership of Yenga, much to the extent as recent as 2005, the two presidents of Guinea and Sierra Leone, then President Amadou Kaba and President Nassana Conte, signed up to an agreement, a communique, where Yenga was ceded completely onto Sierra Leone. But afterwards, because of the law in terms of activities around the area, Guinea came again and reoccupied Yenga very recently. But we continue to push for the diplomatic efforts, and we are very much optimistic that...
so does this communique has a portion where it will expressly state that, of course, Sierra Leone and Guinea now have the consensus of moving towards a kind of agreement that they will deoccupy, Guinean soldiers will deoccupy?
So one of the reasons for the establishment of a joint technical commission between Sierra Leone and Guinea was to look at exclusively the issue relating to the ownership of the borders, but particularly Yenga. And this committee has been working together. Quite recently, on the 22nd thereabout of April, we went to Kailong after, as part of our roadmap agreement, after we had collected documents internally cartographic documents, legal documents, and administrative documents. We went, us and our Guinean counterpart, met in Kailaon, where we discussed and analyzed these documents and made recommendations.
So before we go to another issue, Abdul Karim, you know, this is coming at a time when members of staff of statistics went to that area, and they were also prevented to go into to do their work into Guinea, into Yenga. You know, so I don't know how serious is Sierra Leone to really fight the issue of Yenga quickly, because we have to go to another issue.
I can't describe how serious, but I think we are very, very serious. We've expended a lot of resources, spent a lot of time, giving all of the effort. What is happening in Yenga is not for lack of engagement, it's not for lack of efforts. We are dealing with a counterpart that does something the other way. And sadly, we have no option, but we have to continue to deal with them, because by natural cause of events, we share the same border.
Don't you think this is taking too long?
It has not taken too long. Border issues, border ownership issues are issues that are sometimes intractable. You have to use the soft means to resolve them, especially so for a country like ours that has gone through the periods of war.
Thank you very much. It's Abu Karim from the Office of National Security talking to us there on the all-important manual evaluation meeting before that has been concluded on cross-border partnership and security. We now move to another issue. We're going to discuss politics in the program this morning, as the main opposition party of People's Congress is once again calling on the government to scrap the current proportional representation electoral system and return to the first-past-the-post model. Now, according to APC, the PR system undermines transparency, accountability, and the true spirit of democratic representation. But how likely is a reversal back to the old system, and what does this ongoing debate mean for Sierra Leone's electoral future? To delve more on this discussion, we've been joined in the studio this morning by a member of the APC Strategic Communication Team in the person of Abdul Karim Kamara. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, my esteemed presenters. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Good morning, all of us in the studio as well.
How likely will be the reversal to the first-past-the-post system as we have it in the past?
Bluntly, I will answer it that it will not be business as usual. In democracy, I think what is very clear is that it's the will of the majority that takes precedence over the minority. That is what democracy talks about. That is what democracy stands for. And as a party, we've made it very clear that we are a sober opposition, an opposition that complements government, an opposition that makes sure that it serves as a watchdog to the current system, an opposition that makes sure that it continues to follow government as it implements its agenda, strictly sensu, and call their attention to areas they tend to at least give a blind eye. But that tells you we're a serious opposition, and that's what we're doing. The reasoning of yesterday's press conference was born from the fact that we had an agreement which we are currently rolling out. It's called the tripartite agreement, which born the tripartite recommendations or resolutions, which we are encompassed in 80 resolutions plus 4. Amidst these resolutions, there stands out a resolution that was pinpointed at resolution 78. This resolution makes it abundantly and crystal clear that, hey, wait a second, the people of this country, through the APC, have brought to table where the government was seated, the APC was seated, and the international community was seated. And amongst our disagreements, we submitted that this is an area that is contentious and it needs a national dialogue. And that is to say, let us revert back to the first past the post, and it was captured clearly at resolution 78. What we are telling government now is that your snail-paced approach to this national dialogue, to this national consultative meeting, it's not in the best interest of democracy, and it will not born a good result. That is what we are saying. So that tomorrow you again will not say, why you come too late in the day? We are doing it as early as it will be. Telling government, hey, there is something you are not doing and time is not in your interest. Don't forget, Resolution 78 says we have to go to the people and ask them again before we embark into the electoral cycle for 2028. Which system of representation do you want in the well of parliament? Do you still want the district block system, or do you want us to revert to the first past the post? And this has not been done, and we are raising the red flag.
Just in case the government might be singing on the other side of the hymn book, that's to say, this district block system that we used in the 2020 election also went to court, and it got the blessing of the court before it was adopted as a system for ECSL to use in conducting the election. What will you speak to that?
Safely, I can now comment on that. Firstly, let us understand that the district block system that we challenged ferociously or fiercely in the Supreme Court of this country and we were ruled against, we still continue to hold on to the fact that that ruling was not in the best interest of Sierra Leone. And that provokes how again the judiciary of this country is a party to the problems of this country. Listen, let me give you an analogy of it. Section 38 of our constitutions makes it abundantly clear that the only way we can elect representatives to the well of parliament is by the first past the post system. Clear. Go to section 38 of the parent constitution. However, in the wisdom of the president's former Alhaji Ahmad Tijan Kaba, he had what we call a constitutional amendment to section 38, which was done in 2001, which brought in section 38A of the 1991 constitution. What was the reasoning of President Kaba by then? Because Sierra Leone was just coming from the rebel war, and Sierra Leone was seriously devastated, and there are some terrains that are very difficult to ply or to reach. He says, you know what, democracy cannot be done without having a fair representation, in as much as we cannot access these areas, but let us try to access these areas remotely. And so because he had not wanted to contravene the constitution and do it abruptly, he brought in a constitutional amendment to section 38, and that was the reasoning for we resorting to the 2002 elections via a district block system. But again, in the wisdom of President Kaba, just after 2002, when we had the census in 2005, automatically in 2007 we resorted back to the parliamentary system. To tell you now, we cannot access these areas. There is a data to inform us as to how we can better have a representation for everybody across the board. Let us go back to the first past the post. Reasonably, President Kaba did that.
Okay.
A fighter of democracy. So what we are doing is this. We are saying, hey, there is a Supreme Court judgment which we argued against and we were ruled against. But however, there is now this recommendation born out of a serious contested election, which unto this point, as I'm talking in the studio, the APC still believes that they were daylight robbed of their victory, which we still believe that we allowed to sit on the table because of the best interest of Sierra Leone. We don't want to plunge this country back to where we came from 11 years back. And so we are saying, let us adhere to the recommendations of the TRC. Let us stop to fan these flames that will again resort us to where we are coming from. It will not be in our best interest. And this time around, the APC is saying enough is enough.
So, Mr. Kamara, how do you want to go about this?
This is what we're doing.
Resolution, this recommendation 78
Correct.
that you are talking about,
yes,
is saying that there should be a national
dialogue. Beautiful.
On the choice of electoral system to be adopted for parliament and local councils between the district proportional representation and that of the first past the post. So how do you want to go about
that? Is why we're raising the red flags. I told you, as a serious opposition, we are telling governments, we're helping them in governance so that they will not say, oh, it escaped us. We have so many things. We're bringing them to the picture. Hey, don't forget this. This is serious. Let us start the engagement now. Let us go to our people. Let us ask them, what do you want? It is not done. But please, we're telling the government that we'll cease to be crying babies. will cease to say, no, we're not for do. I am saying it out of all sincerity, and this is the state television I'm talking at, and I know this is recorded and the president will listen to it. We the APC, we are no longer ready to settle for less. We are no longer ready to be crying babies. We will not have that situation where we will say, oh, the APC is not coming out this time around. If we say we are protesting, the same constitutional reliance Fatima Bio had, that he led the protest in Kono, will use the same constitutional reliance, and we know that particular provision is not yet repealed. So we will use the same. So if Fatima Bio can go to Kono and mount a protest and it became successful, the APC is not equally deprived of say. So, Mr.
Kama, one would say, why are you...
We are serious about this.
So, what we've noticed as media people, or even those watching, is that whenever people are in power, in the seat of power, I'm talking about the APC and that of the SLPP, you always reference precedent that many people look at as one that is not good. Because you are talking about onto this moment that the SLPP in governance, the APC is only accepting because you want to get a peaceful Sierra Leone. But you failed to go to the court saying that if we go to court, the situation will just be the same. Why is it that are we not always using the right path? Instead, we are always looking back at those that are not good for our country.
I think the APC is not really known for that. The APC is known to be a party that is compliant to international best practices and the best tenets of democracy. That is more so why we're doing this. This is what it's called constructive criticism. This is what is expected from a decent opposition. This is what you expect from a sober-minded opposition that believes that the next realms of power is theirs. 2028 is State House. So therefore we are doing it cautiously. We are doing it within the provisions of the law. But however, we are telling them, hey, Sierra Leone belongs to all of us. Nobody owns Sierra Leone. It belongs to you, it belongs to me. All we have in common is Sierra Leone. So therefore we are saying, hey government, please let us start this engagement, this stakeholders dialogue, this national dialogue. Let the people talk. Because for me and for we the APC, we believe the district block system does not have that adequate representation of the common person. I'll give you instances.
So in the first place, the question is, where were you when this proportional representation was adopted?
I told you just now that we challenged this in the Supreme Court of this land. And again, we were ruled against. But unto this point I am seated here, I'll still tell you that ruling was not in the interest of Sierra Leoneans. And that is more so we came back in the tripartite resolutions and pointed out that, hey, we are still not comfortable with this PR system. It is not in the best interest of Sierra Leoneans.
Okay.
So it behoves now the government, if they are a listening government, to start this national dialogue to see again exactly how we can revert back to the first class.
Have you been able to engage the relevant authorities?
Yes.
I mean government.
Yes.
Before going to this press conference?
Yes, of course.
What has been the
APC is a member of the Tripartite Steering Committee. The APC just was a few days ago, you saw it again, we were engaged in our headquarters with the UN Assessment Mission on Electoral Reforms. So we've communicated this to almost all apparatus. So now we are now taking it now to you, to me, to everybody. Now it's stakeholders, media, public awareness.
What has been the response?
Well, the response is again a snail-paced response. But you know, whatever happens, Mendeman says it to payma. The fact remains we will continue to be pushing.
So you want to help us to that?
So the more you continue to push me, you push me. When I'm at the wall, I will no longer push backwards. That's the end point.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, Mindy. In other words, I'm saying the more we continue to ask you pushing us, there will come a particular point you will push us no more, because we are now at the point we call at the breaking point. People say that the elastic point. So at this point we don't want to reach. But if the current government wants us to reach at that point, we have no alternative but to reach there and to see what our reactions would be. Our reactions would be lawful and it will be within the precincts of the law. I will tell the government that this country belongs to all of us. Don't forget, there is things we are recording. The First Lady of the Republic in the just concluded lower level elections for the young generation leader in Bo, she said on footage, on tape, that she can identify people in that particular hall who are SLPP purported, who enter the hall. They do not belong to the army, the police, the OSD, whatever, but they had guns and they were shooting guns. That tells you that, hey, don't fan the flames of that barbaric situation we came from.
All right,
but if they are, let me just land kindly. But if they are still pushing us to a point of no return, we'll say, hey, we'll resist within all the legal provisions of the law, and we'll resist fiercely and ferociously.
All right, I don't think we've gotten into that. We are here to discuss about around the use of the PIC.
That is what we are discussing.
Basis.
That's what we are discussing.
Abukaim Kamara, a member of the Strategic Communications unit of the All People's Congress Party, and of course, the program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone. We'll go for a very short break and then we'll come back. The program continues.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available brown gold natural cocoa powder, sunny gold brown sugar, neat fufu flour, shito, pisa and moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.
Welcome back. The program is Good Morning Sierra Leone. We've been having fantastic and of course very interesting discussions here this morning, and we still have Abukaim Kamara in the program. But quickly, we want to go to another issue in the program. Quick Dash is emerging as one of the leading technology companies individually driving digital innovation and expanding access to technology solutions across West Africa, from Sierra Leone to Liberia, Guinea-Conakry, Guinea-Bissau, and beyond. The company is helping people to stay connected, even in areas with challenging infrastructure and limited digital access. This morning, we take a closer look at how Quick Dash is transforming connectivity and bringing digital divide across borders. To help us in that particular conversation is not just a person but Chief Executive Officer, Quick Dash Technology, Dr. Jonathan Bangua. Good morning, Mr. Bangua.
Good morning.
It's
pleasure to meet you, and good morning to the viewers out there.
It's a pleasure to have you in the program this morning. We want to start head on. Give us a background. What's the importance of Quick Dash Technology?
Well, Quick Dash is really, we are a technology company that really embarks on digital innovation to connect people. We are basically taking what you used to do in your life and innovating that to really automate all of the business processes in your life, to be able to see how you connect with work, how you connect with your community, how you connect with your government, or how you connect with businesses around. Be able to do that within the confines of either your office, home, or everywhere you need to be, using digital technology. And basically what we do is we are building platforms for you to be able to stay in your office. Say for example, you cannot go pick up your laundry from a laundromat, or you cannot go pick up your laundry from the dry cleaners. You can be able to stay in your office, go on your phone, open your app, and be able to actually instruct your laundromat for somebody to go fetch those laundries for you. Or you are leaving home late, you're not going to be able to go cook dinner. You can actually order your dinner, pre-order it before you even leave your offices. So at the time you get to your house, right, there will be a rider that will go pick up the food from your favorite restaurant in Freetown and then convey that food to your home. So at the time you get there, everything is ready for you.
Speaking about food, my co-presenter loves food, and so I believe that will be one app she will really utilize very well. But just talk to us about, ICT infrastructure in Sierra Leone is not something too much to add about, and of course you agree with me when in terms of connectivity across the country. Freetown is established, not Sierra Leone. You have people outside the borders of Freetown, but even to connect ourselves in Freetown is a challenge. Talk less of outside of Freetown. So how have you been? I mean, using your infrastructure to really connect people. So we talk about your company in Guinea, Conakry, Guinea-Bissau, in other places.
So what we did was we contemplated that in our research and also in building our app. So we know we have issues with electricity. So without electricity, your internet servers will not be booted up, right? And if you don't have an internet server being booted up, your internet latency is very poor. So how do you really go around that? So what we've done is we built an app that uses both 5G and also use analog. So as long as you're able to really buy a mobile data and load it onto your phone, you can use our technology. So we have, the app is very sensitive enough, or is actually much more innovative enough for you to recognize.
So to understand clearly, what you do, you provide the app and people access the app. It's not like you're providing internet service.
No, we are not providing internet service. We provided the app, which is a technology
which provides
that uses the internet or analog data for them to be able to provide services for people. That is connecting a merchant with a driver and the consumer. So those three people in our ecosystem now will be able to do a transaction. You are the customer, he is the merchant, and he is the driver. Use the app, you place an order, it goes straight to the merchant. The merchant will pick up that order. The moment who fulfills that order, a driver is alerted. Come pick it up and deliver it to the customer, and that ecosystem get completed. So what we did was, because of the internet connectivity, we also can revert back to the analog system where you can use it. However, what we did very cleverly is we built a Google Map system into the system that actually scanned the entire Freetown or the entire Sierra Leone. So for example, the driver, we know that traffic is horrendous in Freetown, especially during rush hour. So how can you be able to deliver any merchandise or any food from one part of Freetown to the other? So the Google Map built into the system will scan the area map of Freetown and be able to recognize where you have internet blockage, where you have traffic blockages, and be able to reroute. So the driver don't depend on their knowledge of Freetown for them to be able to do the delivery. They actually have to adhere to the app. The app tells you, take this route, make this turn onto where you're going to pick up the food, and on your way to where you're going to deliver the food. It will also give you a route by route go around, right, and directions until you get to your.
I'm really beginning to find this very much interesting. So
I'm only concerned about security. You and I know it's becoming a pattern. People are using the internet or some of these apps that you are talking about to fraud people.
Well,
was that taken into consideration?
Yes, exactly. So we have very robust cybersecurity. So when you are building an app, right, you can actually build an app in a way that you can provide your own internet security, or you can build it and then contract out a cybersecurity protocols from another company that will come in and monitor your site, monitor your app, and be able to provide a rare live data that you can track. So in terms of breaching the app, it's impossible, right? If you don't have access to the app, you cannot breach it. And how do you get access to the app? The only way you're going to have access to the app is you have to download it first on your phone and register onto it. You register it using your national ID card.
To download?
Yes, it's free. Yes, it's absolutely free for anybody, for any Sierra Leonean to download the app and be able. Yeah, it's just like your TikTok, right, or your WhatsApp. You download it on your phone and you register onto it, and then we are using biometrics. You use your facial, image for you to be able to have that app. So whenever you open it, right, and you leave it on the table, within 10 seconds, you will set it 1 minute, 10 seconds, or 2 minutes, it goes off. So when it comes back and you try to open it, if you don't have your visual, it will not open. Somebody will not use it because you have your banking data in there. You have a credit card, you have your mobile money, or any other way, or your Volt money built in there, right, using a payment gateway. for you to be able to pay for your purchases.
Okay.
So we've built that in there to protect.
We appreciate your thoughts around what you stand for and what your app is really about. Let's delve deeper a bit. Tell us more about some of the services you provide.
So, as a technology company, we built an app that really is what we call a super app. So, hotels, restaurants, or your favorite cookery shop can utilize that app for them to be able to connect with their customers. You can make a order and you can fulfill it. We also do it for supermarkets. Not everybody wants to wake up on a Saturday morning and be able to go to Goodies or go to Freetown supermarket or go to St. Mary's. You can actually stay in your home and be able to place, and people are doing it right now, but they're only doing it analogly. They are using the phone for them to be able to place these orders, and then a bike person will go to the supermarket and pick it up for them. So what we're doing now is democratizing this and say, okay, you know what? This is not only for the immigrant population or the expatriate population who are using it. Let's democratize it for all Sierra Leoneans.
Okay.
All right? You can stay in your home and say, okay, I'm going to order food or my groceries or my toiletries from my favorite supermarket or place of business in Freetown. You can do that. Also pharmacies. You can stay home at night, say your child is running a fever, but you cannot get under the rain to go get it. You can actually, if Mark Pharmacy is open at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning, you can actually order your food, your medication, as long as you have your prescription, or if it's going to be over the counter, you can actually do that because all of the inventories are listed in the app.
Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. However, it sounds somehow complex. So how are businesses registered? Do you register them with your system or how? Because maybe I have let's say I have a particular outlet that I used to get my stuff, and that outlet is not registered.
Well, we have two ways we are registering. We've actually hired an army of people going from door to door. This is really a very tedious work.
Okay.
So we have youths, Mr. University students who want to earn money. We hire them. We've separated them in all of the 5 boroughs in Freetown. So they go from business to business and basically doing what we call knock the door sales and marketing, and explaining the protocols of the app to them and ask them to join. Some of them are hesitant, I'll tell you that, but some of them are easy to embrace. So for example, most of the former businesses in West End of Freetown, say Aberdeen area, they are very easy because they have used it. Most of them are foreign proprietors, right? They have used it before they came to Sierra Leone, so they are embracing it. But for our own local community, we are actually doing what we call merchant, education. We're going to educate them, and it's not going to be a 1 to 3 days or 4 days. We encountered that even in Ghana, as advanced as Ghana is, we are operating in Ghana right now. We went through the same process, even in Kenya and South Africa. So we are doing it in Sierra Leone, right? And for me, I'm passionate about it. As a Sierra Leonean, I want to bring that particular modernity here in Sierra Leone. So we're going to stick at it and be able to really work with people, our own merchants, and educate them and really ask them to adapt it. Because you know what? Right. This is going to bring traffic to your merchant, to your stores. It's going to bring in customers into your store because you're providing the convenience. And it's not going to cost you anything. It's free.
All right.
So is it free? Sorry.
It's okay.
For the merchants, yeah. For the merchants, it's free. The only person who's ever going to pay money here is going to be the person doing the ordering because it's a convenience, right? I don't want to wake up and go to my car, put petrol in my car, and drive a couple of kilometers to go get something. So I'm going to pay for that service for somebody to go pick it up and bring it to me. But you as a merchant doing the sales, it's free. We're not asking you to pay anything. If your merchandise is 200 leones, it's 200 leones is what you get.
Alright, thank you very much, Dr. Banguera. Continue to stay with us. He is CEO of Quick Dash Technology Company. This is Good Morning Sierra Leone. If you have questions for Mr. Banguera, to send them to the number on your screen or to our Facebook page, Slbc TV Live. We still have Mr. Abdul Karim Kamara.
We have
from the APC. We have two Abdul Karim in the studio. We have one from the ONS and the other one from the APC. Now, Mr. Kamara, just before we went for that break, Dennis was asking about we were asking about if you have other ways of resolving some of these issues that you are raising with the government, instead of
resorting to the last resort. Yes, one amongst the many ways is like this public awareness. Talking to government, telling them there is something that is still left undone. Bringing them to book. Say, hey, look at the recommendations. There are certain things you have not done. But however, what we are saying is that let us understand this reality. Democracy requires apt and adequate representation of people. So we are saying as a party and as the majority of Sierra Leoneans, saying that the first past the post is more appropriate, it is more democratic, it is more inclusive and representative of the people as opposed to the district block system. Analysis R. Look at this one. This is not rhetorics. You go to the Well of Parliament, you realize that some members of Parliament who are currently in the Well of Parliament, let us say you have 4 parliamentarians from Bond, to be specific. 10 chances to work in this current parliament, 3 of them are coming from the same community. And some other communities are left unrepresented. But at the end of the day, they will tell you 4 parliamentarians are representing Bond.
But again, you still have that situation whereby, in fact, that's led us to the fact that we have more female representation now in parliament. As a result,
the 30% quota.
Well, that's what that's how you like putting it. But speaking to the issue, like you said, simmering down the rhetorics, one will argue that as a result of the PR system, we now have, high rates of female representation in parliament. We have more women occupying seats in parliament, which is so unprecedented as compared to the past.
Okay, the 30% gender bill in Sierra Leone is a law. So it is immaterial whether it is the first past the post or it is the district block system. It has to be fulfilled. That the combination of parliament should have a representative of 30% quota for women. So it is immaterial whether it is first past the post or a district block system.
With PR, you have list of candidates.
And
so after every 3, as we have it in 2023, after every 3 candidates, there must be a female.
After every 2, there must be
one that should be female.
Female, very correct.
But the constituency election, if it only goes to a male, then it's a male.
No, don't forget, this is limited or restricted to the parties sending their representative in the Well of Parliament. So it is mandatory by the political parties that in as much as you are awarding symbols in the first past the post system, you must take into cognizance the 30% quota. That awarding of symbols, and that indeed these symbols I am going to give for Bond in particular or for Bombali in particular, 70% should be male and 30% should be female, and these people had to win, because failing not to win, you will not fulfill your constitutional mandate as provided for by law, by the gender bill. So therefore we are saying as a party, we are saying to government and to the president that you are emboldening yourself as the father of democracy. Enough of these rhetorics. Let us practicalize it. We are calling you. This is not about partisan politics. It's about adequate representation of the common man. Let us have the first past the post, wherein the parliamentarian is answerable to his constituents, as opposed to the district block system, wherein the parliamentarian is answerable to his party.
All right. Thank you very much.
It signals fair representation and it signals accountability of politicians to their constituents. So that is the best form of democracy.
So does that fair representation also constitute an amount of fear that you might lose if that system is not adopted?
We told Kande Yomkela when he was in the Well of Parliament, Honorable Ekeke, when they were passing the PR bill, he told Honorable Kande Yomkela, he said, Kande Yomkela, this bill you are passing, today you are here as a representative of the NGC. If this bill comes into fruition, you not even cross Tower Hill not to say you enter the Well of Parliament, and it is here. Again, what you are saying is that only with the first past the post you have lower parties or smaller parties to have representation in Parliament.
Okay. Thank you very much. He is Abdulkarim Kama, a member of APC Strategic Communications team. Quickly over to you, Mr. Abdulkarim Will. spokesperson for awareness. You've been with us for a while now and you've been silent. You know, I asked you earlier on that the joint communique that was signed, whether it's captured, I mean, some amount of, I mean, having leverage on the fact that the Kenyan soldiers are going to, I mean, de-occupy the region of Yenga and of course other surrounding villages. You couldn't really pinpoint on that. But going forward, how will this see a speedy, I mean, resolution of this particular situation you're talking about?
With the commitment in the meeting and the level and caliber of representation, I'm very much optimistic that we are going to cross all of the bridges that we currently are facing. Indeed, we understand that border security management is one that is very challenging. It's one that is very complex, especially when resources are involved. And sometimes it takes patience, it takes knowledge to be able to manage those kinds of situations. But for the younger situation, it has been pitched to the highest level. The presidents of Guinea, the president of Liberia and Ivory Coast have committed themselves to ensuring that they support Sierra Leone in resolving that.
Do you see MRU getting closer to really being part of
the Mano River Union, as part of the communique, has been given clear directives as to what they should be doing, as to how they should go about, who should be involved, because it's actually the thinking that it should be the MRU taking the lead.
That's what people have been yearning for.
It's a home problem, and if we resolve it in-house, it becomes sustainable. And they have pledged their commitment because they are also part of the deliberations. But in the meeting, we had key resolutions, one of which was to jointly engage in border community sensitizations.
Maybe in some way, Sierra Leone also made a case at the ECOWAS. How far are we on that?
So we're expecting a team to visit Sierra Leone and Guinea, and then maybe from there, it will be the next step as to what should be happening. But as it is now, there is some kind of de-escalation of the tensions at Yenga.
Oh, they are still occupying?
They are still occupying, yes. The engagements are ongoing. The new commander on the Guinean part came and extended an olive branch and called for a meeting with his counterparts, and that meeting was held. It was very much fruitful. I'm sure it will take some time, but it will come and cross that bridge.
All right, thank you very much, Abdul Karim. Quickly, we now go to another segment in the program this morning, and we review the front pages of our local newspapers.
Certainly, and for that, I begin with Concord Times newspaper. It publishes an headline: 2025 fiscal year, government intends to spend 7.6 million yuans on wage bills. That is according to budget. To go with that story is a portrait of the country lead for budgets in the person of Brian Masisi, to go with that story. Ahead of SFC 2025, Latter Day Saints presents refurbished ICU to Connaught Hospital. Tripartite holds national dialogue over DRF TPT electoral system for 2028. Dr. Sama Banya urges Miss Sierra Leone contest not to give up. Our stories can find on the front page of Concord Times newspaper.
Alright, from the Concord Times, we go to the exclusive newspaper. It opens with a banner headline: 3 days retreat for APC. Sets rules for convention 2026. Settle all internal problems. This goes with photos of their leaders. And over Lunge Bridge, JFK blast SLPP government. And Sierra Leonean born Salifu Kamara grabs top job in USA. The stories plus more you find in the exclusive.
My next pick is Independent Observer newspaper. The first headline here says NRA Finance and Budget Manager dismissed. Charles Taylor Defense Council passes away. Former Miss Sierra Leone contestant on Thank You Tour. Our stories you can find on the front page of Independent Observer.
From the Independent News Observer, we go to the Global Times newspaper. and I'm afraid this is going to be our final paper for today. The Global Times newspaper. ECOWAS Volunteers Forum opens in Freetown. UN Resident Coordinator hails Sierra Leone. Ambassador Dr. Julius Sandy. Final batch of pilgrims return home. And victim of online sex video, police direct to framed. These stories plus more, including sports, for those of you who are interested in both local and international sports. You go out there and grab these newspapers. You must be reminded that views expressed in these newspapers do not in any way reflect the views of the SLBC. We are merely reviewing what the papers are saying. Is that not so?
Certainly so. And on that note, quickly we want going to go over again to Dr. Bangura, and of course the Quick Dash technology. Is it also the name on the app?
Yes, the name on the app is Quick Dash, just for short, but the company itself is called Quick Dash Technology. And it's actually, that's just one portion of it. So we are rolling out the logistics portion and courier service in Sierra Leone. In September, like in other African countries, we're also going to roll out the mobility part of it. So those who have traveled out of Sierra Leone know there's Uber all over the place. Or if you go to Ghana, you have Yango and you have Boat. So in Sierra Leone, we also have, we're going to boat onto it what we call Sabre. So Sabre is going to be the logistics portion of it, where now you can go back to the same app and be able to summon a car to come pick you up from your office or from your home, or a motorbike or a keke, right? So we actually build that in there. So when you go to Sabre, that's going to launch in September. So you have, if you need a car, or if you need a business car, or just a regular car, if you need a keke, or if you need an Okada, you go in there, just click on the icon, and then that goes to a driver who's routine. So
I'm also concerned as to how you really make your money in all of this, because it seems to be providing just a platform for people to utilize. Another thing is sustainability. We've had so many of semblance of things like this, but how sustainable is this particular one?
Well, the business model is being proven all over the world, right? People have been skeptical about it. In fact, when Uber came to the US, people were very skeptical whether it was going to work, right? Or the Didi, if you go to China today, and a lot of Sierra Leoneans go to China, if you can move around China if you don't use the Didi, right, to do that. So the business model works. All what it needs is the rails. How do you provide the technology rails for people to be able to utilize those services? So we are doing the same thing what people are using it. So there are about 98 million riders a day on Uber.
All right, thank you very much.
So we're using the same methodology for us to be able to bring that access to Sierra Leoneans or Africans as a whole.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bangura. He is Dr. Bangura, and he is the CEO of Quick Dash Technologies Companies. This is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and I'm afraid this is how we bring the curtain down for today's edition of the program. Many thanks to you for allowing us in your offices and also in your homes, and a special one to our producer, William Wise, for putting this program together, and many thanks to our guests for being part of the program. Francis Manhad is my name, wishing you a wonderful and lovely day. Good morning.
I'm Dennis Fraser. Before that, a quick reminder of our quote of the day, and it's come from James Bell, and it says, "Let's put hands together to save our borders, to restore peace." And that's certainly for us always. Good morning, Sierra Leone, tomorrow.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available brown gold natural cocoa powder, sunny gold brown sugar, neat fufu flour, shito, pisab and moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance.
Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever.
Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here, we've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place, all of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
The golden rules of Freetown.
This is News Brief on the hour with me, Esther Susanette Bassi. The European Union Special Representative for the Sahel, Joao Cravino, has paid a courtesy visit to President Julius Maada Bio, who also chairs the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Mr. Cravino congratulated President Bio on his election as chairman, describing it as a testament to his exemplary leadership in the region. Mr. Cravino also provided an update on his ongoing work in the Sahel, emphasizing his goal to deepen the partnership between the European Union and the Sahel region. Chairman Bio expressed gratitude for the Special Representative's visit and reiterated his appreciation for the EU's commitment to supporting his leadership in confronting the region's difficulties. He highlighted the security challenges afflicting both the Sahel and its coastal states, noting that one of his main priorities is to engage constructively with transitional governments within the Sahel. The Food Systems Resilience Program in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, together with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, has sensitized cross-border stakeholders in trade and agriculture sectors on harmonizing sanitary and phytosanitary standards. The event brought together cross-border stakeholders in trade, agriculture and health sectors to raise awareness and adoption of the ECOWAS Harmonized Phytosanitary Certificate and related agri-food trade protocols. ECOWAS Sanitary and Phytosanitary Consultant Dr. Shekfal said the initiative was designed to eradicate trade barriers and enhances access to national and regional markets by ensuring compliance with standardized regulations. He said the harmonized phytosanitary certificate, which is now digitized and recognized across ECOWAS member states, is valid for 12 months and is essential for the safe movement of agricultural goods. Head of Crop Protection, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Ali Mansari said the sensitization of cross-border stakeholders was part of the broader strategy of the Feed Salon program, noting they are taking significant steps toward eliminating traffic and non-traffic barriers that have long affected the regional agri-food trade. The main opposition, All People's Congress, has renewed its call for the government to abandon the proportional representation electoral system and reinstate the first-past-the-post model. Speaking at a press conference at the party's headquarters in Freetown, APC party stalwarts criticized the PR system as undemocratic and poorly suited to Sierra Leone's political realities. Addressing journalists and party supporters, APC National Secretary General Lansana Doumbia contended that the PR system weakens the accountability link between the electorate and their representatives. He said that first past the post is essential to restoring public trust in democratic institutions. Deputy Opposition Leader Honorable Daniel Koma also urged the government to revert to the first past the post system, describing PR as a stopgap mechanism relevant only during crisis. He further pointed to recommendation 78 of the Tripartite Committee, which calls for a national dialogue to determine the most suitable system moving forward. Well, that's all for News Brief on the Hour with me, Esther Suzanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
The death is announced of Emmanuel Tsamba Gevao, which took place on Friday the 20th of June at his residence, 22 Regent Road, Wilberforce Village, and of 3 Campbell Street, Freetown, age 28, and former student of Rabe College Chemistry Department. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on the following numbers: 078-218-752, 088-123-958, 079-391-788, or 076-212-971. The death is reported of Mrs. Elfrida Davis of 3A Hamilton Lane, Freetown, enrolling member of the Church of the Holy Trinity Mothers Union and retired Assistant Superintendent of the Sierra Leone Police. He died on the 24th of June. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on 076-627-8255, 0897 079 407 170 and 088 814 300. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
Glorious thought, my sin not in part, but the whole is nailed to his cross.
The death is announced of Mr. Philip Nongosise, who passed away on the 21st of June, age 53. He is survived by his children, Mrs. Jane C. Sise Conte, Philip N. Santigi, and Philip Sise. Sisters Aisata Ketura and Sarah Sise. Son-in-law Mr. Abubakar Conte. Several grandchildren, friends, and other relatives. Funeral service will be held on Tuesday, the 1st of July at Bethel Temple Ministries, Star Hill at 2 p.m. Burial at the Circular Road Cemetery. For more information, please call on 076 869 889 or 078 709 997. The death took place on the 20th of June of their daughter, sister, aunt, mother, and friend, Madam Sia Margaret Nyandimo, aged 57. She is survived by her son, Thomas Siafa. Several sisters, brothers, in-laws, nieces and nephews, close friends, and other relatives include the Nyandimo, Siafa, Sise, Kambo, and Makati families. Tijan Jalo family, the pastor and church family at Crossover Church International, CCI. Funeral service will be held on the 4th of July at the Wesleyan Church, Gasfield, Kisii at 1:30 p.m. Burial at the Kisii Mesme Cemetery. Sympathizers may call at N 323 Locust Housing, Kisii Mesmes off Congress Junction, Old Road, or call on 079 529 368 or 088 131 179.
Be still, though the storms surround you, always I am with you. Peace, be still.
The death is announced of Madam Aisatu Yulaba Samura of 25 Main Street, Freetown, former APC chairlady of Constituency 124. She died on the 16th of June, aged 60. She is survived by her sons, Alusain Dumbuya and Desmond Mack, several brothers and sisters, cousins, nieces and nephews, relatives and friends at home and abroad. In-laws, Dr. Alaji Mamadou Sise and Mr. and Mrs. Tamba Sise. A vigil held on Monday the 30th of June at her residence, 25 Main Street, Freetown at 8 p.m. Going out is at her residence, 25 Main Street, Freetown on Tuesday the 1st of July from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and at the APC party headquarters from 11:45 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Church of Freetown, 3 Salter Street, off Main Street, on Tuesday the 1st of July at 2 p.m. Burial at the Kingdom Cemetery.
Peace, be still, my child. Peace, be still. Peace, be still.
Funeral service for Mr. Brahma Conte of 13A Maxwell Street, Wellington, and former employee of MSF Belgium, IMC Sierra Leone and Custom broker of Atlantic Freight Forwarding Agency, age 62, will be held at the Christ Apostolic Church, 27A Peacock Farm, Wellington, at 1 p.m. Burial at the Palmer Street Cemetery, Wellington. There will be a laying out at 75 Germain Motor Road, Wellington, on Tuesday the 1st of July from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. A vigil will be held on Monday the 30th of June at the Christ Apostolic Church, 27A Peacock Farm, Wellington, at 7 p.m. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Irene Conte of Wellington Industrial Estate, children Luba, Asike, Bunda, and Njabofuswa Brahma. Brother Mr. Abdul Rashid Conte, sister Madam Pose Kanda Conte, several grandchildren, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, relatives, and friends at home and abroad.
Perverse and foolish, oft I strayed, but yet in love he sought me, and on his shoulder gently laid, and home rejoicing brought.
The family at home and abroad announces the death of Mr. Prince Eni Taiwo Jong, which took place in Germany on Saturday the 31st of May, aged 77. He is survived by his children, Patrick Ojong and Susan Ojong, both in Germany. Granddaughter Aman Bagner, sisters and brother Aja Khadijat Omo Ngando, Teresa Ojong, and Francis Ojong. Several cousins, nieces, nephews, close friends, and other relatives at home and abroad. There will be no vigil. Funeral service will be held on Thursday the 26th of June in Germany. Burial at the Magdalene Cemetery in Germany. A memorial mass will be held at the St. Edward's Catholic Church, King Tom, on Sunday the 29th of June at 10 a.m. Sympathizers may call on the following numbers: 076-604-851, 099-799-383, or 14 Vine Street, King Tom.
Shall we gather at the river where
The death took place on the 16th of June of Mr. Santigi Simbo Kamara, former records supervisor, human resource management, HRMO, age 66. He survived by his wife, Mrs. Alematu Kamara, children Momo Indigi Kamara, Tene Kamara, Emmanuel Kaba Kamara, Daniel Sima Kamara, and Kauta Sama Kamara, grandchildren Joshua Nehemiah and Mariatu, brothers Pasoriba Kamara, Pasier Tire Kamara, and Sita Yat Kamara, sisters Sangwa Yat Kamara and Mamisayo Tire Kamara, close friends and other relatives, the Kamara, Dumbuya, Kagwo, Bangura, Ture, Samora, and Sise families from Kamabala Village, Tonkoli, Makambia District, Kabasa Village, Kamasasa, and Kamasapindi villages. The body will be laid out on Tuesday the 1st of July at the following locations: from 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. at his residence, 36 Hillcourt Road, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Wesleyan Church of Sierra Leone, Willoughby Lane, Brookfields, followed by funeral service at the Wesleyan Church of Sierra Leone, Willoughby Lane, Brookfields. Immediately after the funeral service, the body will be conveyed to Kamabala Village, Gambia District, for burial. May his soul rest in peace.
The river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Soon we'll reach the shining river. Soon our pilgrimage will cease. Soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace.
Funeral and communion service for Mrs. Veronica T.M. Turai, former staff of Janet and Partners, Brookfields Hotel, and a member of the Methodist Girls High School Old Girls Association, will be held on Friday, the 27th of June, at the King Memorial United Methodist Church, Godrich Street, Freetown, at 1:30 p.m. Vigil is on Thursday, the 26th of June, at the King Memorial UM Church at 7 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. She'ai survived by her children, Madeline in the UK and Muke. Mother, Mrs. Anne-Marie Bangura. Brothers, Mr. Edward Bangura of the 34 Military Hospital and Francis Bangura of Freya Money Transfer. Sisters, Margaret Bangura of Aberdeen Women's Center and Agnes Sese of New Brookfields Hotel. Son-in-law, Pastor Matthias Tommy and granddaughter, Mathe, both in the UK. Several nieces, nephews, and other relatives and friends at home and abroad. Sympathizers may call at 24C Upper Tengbe Town, Freetown, or telephone 076 641 020 or 079 198 503. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
Washed in his blood. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior. Heir of salvation. Purchase of God. Born of his Spirit. Washed in his blood.
The death is reported of Mrs. Princess Omolola Kanu Nifuri, formerly of Mansare Drive, Grafton Village, age 76. She survived by her husband, Mr. Fode Kanu, in the UK. Children, Evelyn, Juliet, Clarissa, Mrs. Modupe Adenigi, Mrs. Abiose Jigidi, Mrs. Ajay Taylor, Madam Tunde George. Brothers, Mr. Patrick Musa and Mr. Peter St. George. Cousins, Mr. Tunde George, Mr. El George, Mrs. Elizabeth Duati, Cyril and Betsy Duati, Tunde and Josephine Duati, Mrs. Admira Duati, Mrs. Nelly Bucknor, Mrs. Yamide Clark, Patricia and Albert George, Pasi and Bami Duati, Madam Joya Morgan, Mr. Lancelot Morgan, Mrs. Laura Ezudin, Madam Elizabeth Morgan, Mrs. Princess Riddle, Roland Sin and Florence Freeman Cole, Babatunde and Mercy Cole. Funeral and communion service for Mrs. Princess Omolola Kanu Nifuri will take place on Friday, the 27th of June at the Buxton Memorial Methodist Church, Charles Street. There will be a vigil at the church on Thursday, the 26th of June at 7 p.m. Her body will be laid out at her residence, Mansare Drive, Grafton, at 10 a.m. on Friday, the 27th of June, and at the church basement at 12 noon. Burial at the Kingdom Cemetery.
I and my Savior am happy and blessed, watching and waiting. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll.
The death is reported of Mrs. Comfort Manja Macaulay of Jalamo Konde, who died on the 21st of June. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at Jalamo Konde on mobile number 076 593 699.
It is well with my soul. It is well. It is
The death took place on Monday the 23rd of June of Mrs. Winifred Geneba Sheku Nibangura, age 62. She survived by her siblings. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at her residence, 6 Manso Drive, Youth Farm, Polio Junction, Jue, or call on 076 814 896, 076 896 656, or 076 641 014. May her soul rest in perfect peace. The death is reported of Mrs. Gloria Princess Teresa Davis of 2C High Broad Street, Morristown. She died on the 20th of June, age 69. She survived her children. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 2C High Broad Street, Morristown, or call on 088 971 876 or 032 919 066. Funeral and communion service for Mrs. Asiatu Yeli Kamara of 14 Savage Street via St. John, who died on the 17th of June, aged 36, will take place on Friday the 27th of June at the Holy Temple of Faith via St. John at 2 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. The body will be laid out at a residence 14 Savage Street at 1 p.m. A viewing will take place on Thursday the 26th of June at the church at 7 p.m. She survived by her husband, Mr. Abdulrahman Kamara, children Salimatu Hawa Senisi, Abdul Karim and Michael Kamara, father-in-law Venerable Archdeacon Reverend Michael Kamara, mother-in-law Samilia Kabo, several brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, in-laws, and the rest of the family and friends at home and abroad. May her soul rest in perfect peace. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. Sharon Velma Iyabode Taylor Sanko, commonly called Iyabode, died on Saturday, the 24th of May in Severan, Maryland, USA. She was 49 years. She survived by her husband, Sir Sanko, in the USA. Children, Yumi, Jamal, Salma, Gabriel, Zekia, and Erika, Mrs. Marionette Taylor Davis, and Miss Yvette Taylor in the USA. Uncle Sundance, Prince Tunji Lightfoot Taylor, Solomon Cole in the UK, Miss Yvette Taylor, Christopher Lightfoot Taylor in the USA, Evans Lightfoot Taylor, Mitella Taylor in Freetown, Mr. Akigaba in the USA, Anis Williams, Melissa Williams, and Glenna Mansai. Several cousins, in-laws, other relatives, close friends, and organizations. Funeral service will be held on Saturday, the 20th of June at 10 a.m. at Zion Evangelical Lutheran Church, New Hamp Avenue, Tacoma Park. Burial at Maryland National Memorial Park, USA. Peace be still. Peace be still. Though the storms surround you, always. The family announces the death of their beloved husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, and friend, Mr. Sheka Bangura, commonly known as Sheka Cole, formerly of 1 Johnson Drive off Regent Road, Lumley, and Liverpool Street, Benguima Road, Waterloo, former staff of Parliament. He died on Monday, the 16th of June, age 56. He survived by his wife, Mrs. Mariama Cynthia Bangura. Children, Mrs. Abisese, Memunatu Bangura and Khadijatu Bangura, Fatou Toure, Christiana Jallo in Italy, and Yusufu Toure. Several grandchildren, sisters, brothers, other relatives and friends at home and abroad. A vigil and evening song will take place at St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Benguma Road, Waterloo, on Saturday, the 28th of June, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The body will be laid out at Liverpool Street, Benguma Road, Waterloo, on Sunday, the 29th of June, from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Funeral and communion service will take place at St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Benguma Road, Waterloo, on Sunday, the 29th of June at 2 p.m. Burial at the Benguma Village Cemetery.
The King of love, my shepherd is, whose goodness faileth never. Nothing lack if I am his, and he is mine forever.
The Sanko family announces the death of their beloved mother, grandmother, aunt, sister, and friend, Madam Adama Sanko, commonly known as Mama, of 27 Upper Hook Street, Kisi, Upwater, an evangelist of Jesus is Lord Ministry, who passed away on Tuesday, the 10th of June, age 58. She is survived by 6 children, brothers and sisters, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, uncles, aunts, in-laws, cousins, relatives, and friends at home and abroad. Funeral service will be held at Jesus is Lord Ministry, Tahil, Freetown, on Monday, the 30th of June at 2 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. Sympathizers may call at J1TIC, Koso Town, or call on mobile numbers 088-155747, 076-761-023, and 076-851-327.
Guide me, thou spreadst a table with, and oh, a transport of delight from thy pure chalice flowing.
Funeral service for the dear husband, father, brother, mentor, colleague, and friend, Dr. Solomon Sobashluz, formerly of Mofos Village, Kagboro Chiefdom, Moyamba District, who died on the 21st of May, age 65, will be held in Maryland, USA at the First United Methodist Church, 6201 Bellcrest Road, Hyattsville, MD, M2782, on Saturday, the 20th of June. Viewing is at 9 a.m. and the service is at 10 a.m. EST. There will be a vigil in Maryland, USA on Friday, the 27th of June at the Grace United Methodist Church, 7001 New Hampshire Avenue, Tacoma Park, 11 a.m. GMT. A repast will take place in Maryland, USA on Saturday, 20th of June at the Hampton Conference Center, 207W, Hampton Place, Capitol Heights, MD 20743. He survived by his wife, Ambassador Minister Gile Kebi Schluz, children Dultin Bamiskold in Finland, Chomalen Mulo Schluz in the USA, Gimon Tommy Schluz in the USA, Jaisi Kona Schluz in the USA, and 3 grandchildren, siblings, several nieces, nephews, sisters-in-law, daughter-in-law, and brothers-in-law, relatives and friends at home and abroad. Sympathizers may contact Millicent Neal on 033-901-816.
Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful air of salvation, purchase of God, born of his spirit, washed in his blood.
The death is reported of Mrs. Princess Omolola Kanu Nifuri, formerly of Kanu in the UK. Children: Evelyn, Juliet, Clarissa, Mrs. Modupe Adenigi, Mrs. Abiose Jigidi, Mrs. Ajay Taylor, Madam Tunde George, brothers Mr. Patrick Musa and Mr. Peter St. George, cousins Mr. Tunde George, Mr. El George, Mrs. Elizabeth Duati, Cyril and Betsy Duati, Tunde and Josephine Duati, Mrs. Admira Duati, Mrs. Nelly Bucknor, Mrs. Yamide Clark, Patricia and Albert George, Pasi and Bami Duati, Madam Joya Morgan, Mr. Lancelot Morgan, Mrs. Laura Ezudin, Madam Elizabeth Morgan, Mrs. Princess Riddle, Roland Sin and Florence Freeman Cole, Babatunde and Mercy Cole. Funeral and communion service for Mrs. Princess Omalara Kanu Nufuri will take place on Friday the 27th of June at the Buxton Memorial Methodist Church, Charles Street. There will be a vigil at the church on Thursday the 26th of June at 7 p.m. Her body will be laid out at her residence, Mansare Drive, Grafton, at 10 a.m. on Friday the 27th of June, and at the church basement at 12 noon. Burial at the Kingdom Cemetery.
For visit family na some partner upline pass you the tinker. If not
Okada riding don't turn full-time work for plenty young people them na salon. 87% of salon people them they below 35 years. For plenty of the young people them yeah, now Okada then they ride for make money and survive. Auna Suleiman they ride your Okada na the Bandajuma Liberia Highway when a 100-kilometer road where they don't tap. As they ride by the highway plus the big 162-meter Moa bridge, this road they provide safe, secure and reliable transport for the community them. The good road and bridges don't replace cross water parking and now then road they don't really they save life.
This road they don't make it easy because since where they make it, we can find them easily for go na the border and return back.
The road and bridges them don't connect village them, open plenty opportunity for farmers, traders and other salon people them. Suleiman and other Okada man them they come now and they enjoy the benefits where the road don't bring. They for connect people and community them and for make travel more easy and safe. So tell me which road you want travel.
Here's how to send money overseas using AfriMoney and BNB. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 6 for overseas money. Press 1 for BNB. You'll see the list of countries you can send to. Enter receiver's full name. Enter the receiver's phone number. Enter the amount you want to send. Enter your PIN to confirm. You will receive an SMS confirming your transaction. Terms and conditions applied.
This na good news oh me people that are salon. This na the first time where one powerful woman dey comot Burkina Faso, Aja Awa, for can pray for people them na salon. Aja Awa dey men all kinds sick. I say all kinds sick. Na powerful woman. If you blind, it go make you see. If you na cripple, you know the waka, it go make you waka. If you na mumu, it go make you talk. And if you know the born pikin safe, it go make you born. If you want gentry, he go pray for you, you go gentry. If na married you dey look for, born pikin, or you married those don't scatter, Ajawa can pray for you, and you go see the result. All thing go fine for you. So, try and today, you no go regret them. If na gentry self you want, Ajawa can pray for you, and you go gentry. People in the come all over the world for go to Ajawa na Burkina Faso. And some people in a salon where Ajawa be non pray for. We can testify say yes, Ajawa na powerful woman. If na power you want, where Ajawa pray for you, you go get her. So not forget it dey come salon Monday, June 30 from Burkina Faso. But if you want no more, but Ajawa, na for Ghana FAO Drive, Aberdeen, or call them na then telephone number 073 56 1293 or 031 042 478. Hajawa from Burkina Faso. Try am today. You no go regret am because na the best for pray for people. The death took place on the 23rd of June of Reverend Daniel O.B.T. Coker, aged 85. He survived by his wife, Mrs. Abby Coker, children Sonny, Matilda, Sayan and David Coker, Abu Square and Sergeant Gabriel Davis of the Sierra Leone Police. Several grand and great-grandchildren, in-laws, relatives and friends at home and abroad. A vigil will be held on Saturday the 5th of July at his residence, Batibai Village, Matindi, Waterloo, at 7 p.m. The body will be laid out on Sunday the 6th of June at his residence, Batibai Village, Matindi, Waterloo, from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Funeral service will take place at the Grace and Truth Evangelical Ministry, Puwa Village, Waterloo, at 1 p.m. Burial at Matindi Cemetery, Waterloo.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance.
Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever.
Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place, all of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are Freetown.
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 Yeah.
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
The taxi driver,
The barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
all of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours. The future is ours. It's our time again.
and this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright, the greengrocer,
The teacher,
the dog.
This space is ours.
This light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
the rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river.
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown. Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too. We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all dey pass like stranger dem, but we all don dey here from time. Come here, and you'll feel it, that end of the line sense of freedom. Say yes to Freetown. Say yes to freedom. A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance.
Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever.
Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place, all of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are Freetown.
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 Yeah.
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from Kenema and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
the taxi driver,
The barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
All of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours. The future is ours. It's our time again.
And this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright, the greengrocer,
the teacher,
the dog.
This space is ours.
This light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
The rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river.
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown. Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too. We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all dey pass like stranger dem, but we all don dey from them. Come here, and you'll feel it, that end of the line sense of freedom. Say yes to Freetown. Say yes to freedom.
Do you know the TV show that brings to you the decision makers who determine and shape the country's policies and programs? Bottom Line is the show to watch.
Well, join Asmi Uba as it brings to the table movers and shakers of society and policymakers whose decisions have direct impact on your lives.
Bottom Line comes up every Thursday at 7 p.m. on SLBC TV, Channel 31 with Asmi Uba.
Bottom Line on SLBC TV, the program you can't afford to miss on SLBC TV, Channel 31. Join me now.
The show that touches every aspect of society as we leave no stone unturned.
It's Bottom Line, only on SLBC TV.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits
And memories are made.
Our waste, a source of raw materials and motor of the economy. An entire republic caught up in recycling fever. There's money to be made from the waste of an affluent society. Even old TVs are a treasure trove of riches. Gold fever among the recyclers.
There are a lot of precious...
Slbc Tv humpatisia ba nyama Ibrahim kumango adu ya mbenga kepingu to kuma benga beta yebu husia handa bia we kutumawe na ha bere mo amana ugama ta haji European Union